afternoon. This is Apostle Michael Davis Jr., Overseer, Senior Pastor of New Testament Believers Fellowship Church. I just wanted to talk to you ladies on today as to how can you be effective in your marriage to your husband and to find the right man to be married to where the honor and respect can happen and you would have a good relationship. Now first, before we get into the subject matter, I want you to do several things. First, I want you to like, in other words, hit the thumbs up button. Then I want you to share the video. And then I want you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that every time that we come on a new video on YouTube, that you will see our new videos that will come up in your feed. So what I'm gonna title this video to be what a woman really needs. Now, I'm not talking about genetically modified females, as I heard one of my other YouTubers that I love to listen to, who speaks a lot of truth. I'm not talking about genetically modified females. I'm not talking about little girls. I'm talking about real women that have their stuff in order as to have their life together, to have a good husband, and to have a good relationship. So I came across some information, because I study a lot, and it came from this website, Instituting Basic Life Principles. So it's just these things, and it's just all backed up by scripture. And one of the things that they talk about is how can a woman meet her husband's basic needs. So the first thing I want to say before I get into that subject, ladies, I know in society today, society is against men and against fatherhood and manhood and things that are masculine. And because of the lack of masculinity in the home by men and not some female trying to have a masculine energy, the whole entire family suffers. From that, you have effeminized men who are controlled by women, and men that can't take nothing. And then you have women acting more masculine, which is perverted. That's not God's order. And then when you have this and there's no man, no father in the home, then the daughters are out of order. Their whole course of life is set in shambles, and they don't know how to truly operate with the man. And that inform even a good man that they see, and they would say, oh, it's too good to be true. He's too good to me, so I don't deserve him because he's too good to me. Now, I ain't talking about no man being a simp. I'm talking about a man being a man. Because, I had my days when I was a simp, but then things happen in life, and I woke up. So, this is the thing. Women out there, they'll have a real good guy that, got his stuff together. He's on his purpose in life. He on his square, doing what he's supposed to do. And they dating, and then the guy would say, yo, get down on one knee with the ring. Will you marry me? And she says no. All because she thinks that he's too good to be true. But on the back end, she's dating Pookie and Ray Ray and getting dug out by Pookie and Ray Ray and getting her head cracked at the same time. And she's saying no to the guy that got his stuff together. How do I know? I went through that one where I was a good guy, and at that time I was simping. I was the good guy trying to get my stuff together, and had a young lady that I was dating and was in love with her and wanted to take the relationship further, and she said no to me. And boy, am I glad that she said no. And since she said no to me, God has brought the right person that I have been with for the last 19 years in my life and given me 7 wonderful children. So, out of those 7 children, I have 3 daughters. And I would not want my daughters to be dating no Pookie and Ray Ray. None of that. Because when it comes time for the young man to come and meet me and my wife, I'll be sitting with the gun and the Bible at the table. I'm one of them because I don't play about my children. Especially, I don't play around about my girls either. Because my girls are being taught how to be mothers and how to be wives by my wife, and also their grandmothers, because their grandmothers know how to be good wives and mothers to us and the grandkids. So, I wanted to get into this hot topic, and this is just so hot because women resist this, and then they find themselves often being 30 and 40 years old in the church, not married or having kids, and no husband. But then if they get a husband, this dude is compromised. He may have came in a situation where he has no children, but she has children, and things are not fair in the marriage, and it ends up in divorce, or somebody gets accused of something traumatic like rape or molestation. And then how society reacts to the man is totally ruined, and his life is just scrap. So, this is the first thing. In a marriage, for those that think that some things are too good to be true, and you say it truly it is, but not all the time. You have to understand, when God sends you a person, you have to recognize in the spirit that this person who God has put before you is the one who He has sent to be your husband. And when you get that husband, you can't go in the way of being a Jezebel and a Delilah, trying to be a control freak. Any woman with a masculine energy, that's like saying you got a penis. Put your penis up. You don't have one. Any woman with a penis is a freak. That's perverted. And you don't deserve to be with anyone except another woman. But, that's neither here or there. That is perverted. So, what should happen when you are a wife? The first thing, if you're going to have a good marriage, you as a wife need to be in congruency with your husband. So, with that being said, the woman should meet her husband's needs. And this is a part of, if you help your husband meet the needs and goals for his life, for what God has for you in the marriage relationship, you'll have a successful marriage. Because God clearly stated in His Word that there are responsibilities that a husband and a wife have. So if you're fully qualified to meet your husband's needs, sister, read Proverbs 5:18 and you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. And also the responsibilities between the husband and the wife. You can read Genesis 3:16, Ephesians 5:22 through 23, Colossians 3:18 through 19, and 1 Peter 3:1 through 7. Those things are scriptures that you can read. Now, according to this site that I'm reading, there's 7 basic needs of a husband that for you women that really want to be married and stay married and have a great relationship with your husband. The first thing, You need to be cooperative and supportive and loyal to your husband. You can't be having male friends on the side and doing stuff, because once you open that door, you create uncertainty, and infidelity can happen, and then the worst can happen. That's the first thing. And you have to understand, the way your husband thinks, his perspective on life is different. You may say, oh, he's trying to be insecure, like Jasmine Sullivan made that song Insecure, that's out there. But when you out there trying to have male friends, and it always happens. God never intended for men and women to have platonic relationships, because somewhere down the line, in the meeting of the minds, the man or the woman are going to have an attraction to each other, and then there can be a relationship started, whether it be going into marriage, adultery, or fornication. So when a man has long-term goals, support his goals. If he's really trying to reach something, he's on his purpose, on his square, support him. Don't be argumentative. Don't be making it so crazy. Like as the scripture says, it's better for a man to live on a house of a rooftop than in a house with a brawling woman. So if you always argumentative and always trying to be right all the time, then you're gonna lose your husband. He's gonna get tired and say, you know what, I can have peace with somebody else, or I can be all by myself. So what a man wants in a marriage relationship, he wants a sandwich. In other words, something to eat. You can cook. He want peace, and he wants his loins, his sexual desires to be met as a wife, and those things should be top priority in your marriage as the duties of a wife. The second thing, you need to honor your husband's leadership, that he's the head, not you. God never intended for the woman to be the head. Anytime the woman tries to be a head or usurp the authority of a man in the marriage relationship, that's Jezebel. You see what happened ultimately to Jezebel, because she usurped the authority of King Ahab, and he got twisted. It didn't go over well. So what ended up happening to Jezebel? God had to send the prophet and King Jehu in to dispose of Jezebel. What did he say? He said, throw her down. And we got the little joke saying, because Jezebel was like Scottish, because she wanted to sleep with the prophets, and if they wouldn't, she would kill them. She had the prophets shook in the kingdom, because they wouldn't, if they didn't do what she said or sleep with them, she had them killed. So basically, Jehu had this little joke, inside joke, to say, Jehu say, throw the hoe down. So Jehu told the eunuchs to throw her down. And when she threw down, she splatted, and the dogs ate her. And that was a prophecy that Elijah, who was already long gone already, had prophesied, and Jezebel was ate, and the dogs left nothing but the palms of her hand and the soles of her feet left, but ate everything else. So what does that say about Jezebel? Jezebel didn't honor totally King Ahab's leadership. She maneuvered and manipulated and controlled the situation. She had King Ahab to kill a man by the name of Nabal, because King Ahab wanted his land. She set it up, had Nabal come in there and make that man feel like he was celebrated, and they killed that nigga. So you must honor your husband's God-given authority. You're not the head. Your husband is the head. And when you think that you're in control, that right there, you need to be shut down like all the way, because it should not be. And any man, if you're in a relationship like that with a woman, I would advise that you not be in a relationship with a controlling woman at all, because it may take you to a place of where you don't want to be, and it can get quite ugly. Alrighty. 3, a man needs a wife who develops inward and outward beauty. So a wife must be peaceful, must be kind, must be loving, as well as fine as wine. So one of the things that attracted me to my fine wife is sweet, my wife is loving. She knows how to calm a situation down when I'm snapping. She knows how to ease when I snap and bring the situation to a calm. Because I'll be ready to destroy and tear up everything when stuff is just not right, when it's totally out of order. I got to get it in order. My wife helped me to calm down. That's what attracted me to my wife. In addition to her being fine, she has those qualities of inward beauty. Here's another thing. A man needs a wife who will make appeals, not demands. So men or woman, if you always trying to make demands to a good man that's your husband, you're not gonna keep him for long. Cause see, he's gonna say the same thing. Why is it that every time I come home, this woman's always barking orders at me like I'm some child? Your husband is not your child, and neither is the other way around. She can make appeals. In other words, baby, this, and this. I saw this. So, what do you think about this? You make appeals. Not, nigga, you gonna do this? No, ain't going. Nope. Shut down the dumb stuff. Nope, ain't going. So, men, if you listen to my video, if you have a woman that's making demands to you, that's grounds to just be like, I'm done. Shut it down, bruh. Shut it down. Because that relationship is bound to be self-destruct. Just like Inspector Gadget said, this message is to self-destruct. Yeah. A woman that makes demands to a man all the time, that's a masculine trait. Not gonna last. And if you're a weak simp, you need to grow some balls and man up and get that in order, or you're gonna be walking around with your tail between your legs. Not cool. Number 5, a man needs a wife who understands his need for time alone with God. Now, there are those times, even in my marriage, my wife understands when I have to get by myself with God, and he talks to me and I have to have that Moses experience. My wife leave me alone. She make the kids leave me alone. She say, leave your daddy alone. Your daddy's praying. He's talking to Jesus. Leave him alone. And she knows sometime I'll get in the car, I'll go for a drive, and I'll pray. I'll go talk to God, or I'll go to a park somewhere, or the airport, and just sit and I'll talk to God. Because sometimes we as men, we have to hear from the Father to get direction on what to do, how to do, where to do. We have to. Here's another thing. A man needs a woman that's grateful. If you're grateful, you're not spiteful. If you're grateful in the relationship, this makes a peaceful home for your husband. And this accounts for a good relationship between the husband and the wife. So even for the small things, if your husband came home and say, he said, okay, hey, let's go out to eat. I'm taking you out to dinner tonight. We're going to have date night tonight. And, you be like, well, I did it. No. Be grateful that it's happening, because the grass ain't always green on the other side. When you see other people doing certain things, it's not always the same. Some people want what they see, but don't realize what they had, what God had given them was greater than what they thought they seen. In other words, they were seeing fear. In other words, false images appearing real. So So, and what they fear is to be incongruency, because a lot of women fear what they girls is gonna say about them. Oh, you walking to him. Oh, you walking like the Middle Eastern women walking behind their husbands and this, that, and the other. But a godly woman honors her husband. A godly woman is grateful, wants to please her husband. And then when a man knows that his wife is grateful and she wants to please her husband, then that husband can reciprocate with the best that he has to give to his wife and his family. Now, I ain't talking about simping, yo. I'm speaking real truth to power. Woman, if you're listening to me, if you're grateful and you know how to treat your husband is not a boy, he's not a toy. If you treat him with respect, that man will give you the world. Alright, so here's number 7. A man needs a wife who will be praised by others. And if you know that your man, he on his square, he on his purpose. He's an entrepreneur, he's a businessman, he works hard to take care of his family. He making sure that you got food on the table, a roof over your head, clothes on your back, that you not wanting for nothing. Why you at what they doing? Why are you looking on the other side for what somebody else got when you got the best at home? Well, this is all I have to say. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I got more videos coming on this topic of what needs to happen in a relationship between husband and wife. God bless you.